Oh, excuse me. Hey, Uchiha, what's up? How you doing? Welcome in. I didn't put up like a stream starting soon screen. I need to make a video for that, I think. But I never have time to like sit at my computer and do promotional stuff, you know, the obligatory stream starting posts and things like that before it's time to go live. So I always end up going over by like 10 minutes. So I'm just here doing it. How you doing? How's your week been? Wait, what? Weird. Oh man, only one cough drop left. Ugh. Better make it count. I'm trying to think of what photo to use for tonight too. I've got one that I'll put up there on the screen right now. This is one I took of a freshwater spring here in Florida with a bunch of manatees and stuff. This is going to be, we finished the puzzle last night, so I'm going to start a new one tonight. This is the one I'm thinking of, but this might be too much green. I get it, so we can scan for a better photo if I have one. I'm sure I do somewhere, if that's too much green. A lot of the underwater stuff I have is a lot of blue. You know? Oh, this could be good. Nah, too dark. That's a lot of green. Wow. I have a lot of pictures of a freshwater spring in Texas. Just like swimming with some bass and stuff like this. That would be such a hard puzzle. Like everything looks like this. We were doing a dive check off in a spring. I know I missed a couple. Here we go. Here and here. Right there. One of these. What were you saying? Something about famous ads? I don't get it. I'm almost done, by the way. I'll only be distracted for about another 30 seconds. Do I sound anything like that? I feel like I'm so hoarse right now. And last but not least. Oh, that was not last. And a 1. And a 2. Excuse me. Shoo. All right. That's enough of that. No more distracted shark. So, to kick things off, hey Wheels, what's up? Thanks, give Vanucci a shout out. Save me some time. So, I have, as advertised, great Hammerhead Shark 360 footage, the one that you may have already seen on the channel. And I have a lot of GoPro footage from that dive with Joker of hammerheads that we have never looked at here. Like, in fact, that footage of Joker, I realized, is only like... that's all we've looked at from that dive. And like, maybe 2 clips of the hammerheads. I have... That's only like a third of that whole folder from that dive. So I got a lot. And we've never looked at that, so we're probably gonna do that. But yeah, I was thinking to work on the bruv today, but I don't have a jigsaw bit that is a blade that's got fine enough teeth to actually saw it out. I'll show you what I did. So far, I've drilled some holes in the bottom of the fishbowl to get a start, and I was thinking this will at least vent water out so it would work. I could do it like this, but then if I zip tie, I put some holes in the bottom edge here too. And if I zip tie that to the grate, then the camera is stuck in there. So I want to be able to take it out. So I need to cut out the bottom here so I can just add the camera and remove it at will. But yeah, I borrowed a jigsaw from a neighbor yesterday, and he went out of town today. He dropped it off while I was streaming, and it only had the one bit in it, and it's a really, really coarse blade. So you do see manatees. There's probably like 100 manatees in this photo. No lie, there's a lot. Every dark shadow you see in the back of the picture is a manatee. Anyway, so my neighbor left me his jigsaw, but it's not going to work for this. It would shred this. It's like so bad. So I've got another blade coming in the next few days. But we can still like put it on there, make sure everything fits, make sure the concept is actually going to work. So we can do that a little bit later. But just realized that when you mentioned it. What? The bowl thing or the manatees? But yeah, so first I wanted to find us a photo to set up another puzzle. We finished the puzzle last night. So I want to get another one going. Maybe we'll do, oh, the manatees? Yeah. Here, watch, I'll do a little markup and just draw some of them for you in case you guys can't see them because of the way it comes through on stream or something. So if I zoom, got like, obviously there's one right there. Why would it always default to blue? That is the worst color for something that needs to pop. Here's one. That's a little bitty one. Here's a big chonky one. There's one, the little one. There's one. There's one. These are all, man, like every little gray lump you see, every shadow is a manatee. You get the idea. It's a lot of manatees in this photo. This one's tail right there. There's one. There's one. You get the point. So this was a photo I'm thinking of for the puzzle, unless I can find something better. Because I know there's a lot of similar colors in this, and it might be kind of tough. That's a lot of green water. I also have this. It's a pretty fun picture of a lemon shark and me and Mita and our guide. There's a lot of blue, but there's also some stuff to break it up, like the surface and the animal and us. So it might not be bad. And here's a real off-the-wall one. So I'll keep this open just in case we go with that. But here's a really off-the-wall one that I forgot I had, actually. I forgot I made a GIF, and I just posted this in the Discord, too. I made a GIF of the... Whoa, what was that? Why does my sound so quiet? Yo! What is it? LHR Mining? Welcome in, how you doing? Yeah, it's insane how many there are, right? Like, I wasn't kidding. That day, the park had a sign. And this creek's not that long. It's like, you know, maybe a couple of blocks from where the mouth of the creek to where the spring is. And at the sign at the beginning of the park, when you come in, they have a tracker. They, like, however many manatees the park rangers count that day, they go update this ticker. And it said over 300 that day. So this is probably at least a third of them in this wide angle shot. Okay, so we could do this. I can't dock it to the screen. How annoying. We could do that one. Or... oh, but it wants to dock to the other screen. How convenient. Or we could do this one. Now, I also found out that this Tangle puzzle app will let you do an animated GIF. And this GIF is really cool. I'm going to show it to y'all, and we can try it as a puzzle if you want, but I think it would be hard as hell as a puzzle. I just think it's cool how it undulates like that and really kind of adds some depth to it, almost like a stereoscopic 3D situation. That's what I was going for. I wanted it to flash back and forth real quick, so it's like you're there, you know? I like to play with that sometimes. Like, that's something I want to try some more. Like, take a picture, take one tiny step to the side, and then take another picture, and have it flip back and forth between the two to create a stereoscopic 3D image. I think the picture's neat for what it is. I'm not convinced it would make a good animated puzzle. I'll show you what some of theirs look like. Yeah, okay, so here's like the GIF, or the animated ones are like this cat or this tent. This pelican. It's pretty wild. Like, this wouldn't be so bad because it's just the incense smoke, right? That's moving. Everything else is still. So if you can get an image like that, where it's just like one aspect of it is moving, then that would actually be pretty cool. But a whole moving reef is kind of wild. You feel me? So I am on the prowl for something a little more practical. That's not bad, actually. There's a lot of similar colors still. Maybe I can add a little saturation and it'll pop more. If I just like crank up the saturation to like a ridiculous degree. Actually, let's give it a little exposure. The shadows, and now some saturation. That might actually not be so bad. This could be a good one. Still, that water at the top's gonna be really hard. Everything in the background's gonna be really hard. This big sandy patch will be really hard. I feel like we could do better. A challenge, you say? I mean, if you want a challenge, Uchi, be my guest. We can do that one. But that's a big brain challenge. That's the kind of I was gonna add it. I was gonna turn it up to 400 pieces because we did 300 last night and it went fast. It was done well before stream was over, so I don't want to make it too easy. But we don't want to go up 100 pieces. And Wheels, what's up, yo? Thank you for the 10 bits, sir. I appreciate you so much, man. But you know, I don't want to turn up the number of pieces and give you something that's like all of 3 colors. 1,000? Are you out of your mind? Dude, 1,000. We could be working on a 1,000-piece puzzle for a month on this stream, the way things have gone in here. Okay, what else is in that? Ooh, pretty. Too bad there's not more coral here in the foreground. Ooh. Yeah, this is actually, some of this stuff, I haven't color corrected it, so it's really blued out. I don't think anything from that day, at least, is gonna work. What about... I really like our stuff from the dive the day after our wedding with the bull sharks, but it's just a lot of white sand, like a whole lot. You know, like great shot, really hard for a puzzle. I feel like this one with the lemon shark in the top left would be easier than this. What do you guys think so far? Left or right? I might be overthinking it. This one might not be so bad. I think it's that's a good fallback. I haven't thrown in the towel just yet. Oh, this is fun. Yeah. This could be really good. I have a split shot lens for my GoPro. And I took a picture of some koi with it. This is the first time using my split shot lens, so half the camera lens is below the water, half is above. And this is at the Dallas Arboretum. That's a pretty great photo. We should probably just use this. What do you guys think? Here's our options. No, what are you doing? Go back. So we got shark, manatees, or koi fish. That's what it's down to at the moment. Unless I see something I totally forgot about, which I don't think is going to happen. Yeah. You're thinking lemon shark? Okay, let's do a poll. Here we go. All right, we got a 2-minute poll for which one to use for a puzzle. While you guys are voting on that, and I'll be the tiebreaker if there's a tie. While you guys are voting on that, I'm gonna get 360 software up and running. Yeah, I don't take a lot of stills, honestly. I usually just take videos and then, like, you know, grab stills from them because cameras are so high resolution now that I don't, like, sell stock images or anything, you know, I don't use them for anything like that. So the resolution you get from stills taken from high resolution cameras is enough for me. Hey Wheels, what was that moment you were talking about something on the Sapona wreck the other day? I'm looking at the folder. Oh yeah. It was you were talking about the part where we were talking to each other underwater. That's right. I got there. Ooh, you guys want to see something I haven't shown off here, I don't think? After we were done with the Caribbean reef shark dive, they took all the bait that was in the box and cast it over the side. And I have 360 footage from that. I don't know what it looks like. I think I've watched it. I don't remember if I've put it in the player or not. Into the 360 studio. Grab this. Right. Okay. That is dark. Why is it so dark? We were pretty stoked after that dive. That was a really fun one. Except homeboy over here, he's just fixing his stuff. Trying to fix his camera. This part really sketched me out. They had just fixed a couple of panels. This is all like busted up fiberglass panels on the bottom of this thing. And you see that one that has the life vests on it? Yeah, the latches on that one just broke. Those life vests are there to remind us not to step there so we don't go through the floor. The current is too strong. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was the one. Okay, image, image, image. The video. This is what I was looking for. There's a garden down here that has a koi pond. Nice. Have you dove when it was raining? No. This is probably the closest I've come to that. I don't think even in a lake I've dove when it was raining. Not that you can't, but I just haven't. You don't want to dive when it's storming, for sure. If there's lightning, you want to get out of the water. Okay, so here's all the Caribbean reef sharks. Remember I was saying there were 2 boats? There's the second one that the sharks kept going back and forth between. See, it's a lot closer. It looks a lot closer from up here than when we were under the water. They really weren't that far away. Everything looks kind of far underwater. And they're just dumping off the bait. Well, they're gonna in a second here. I told you there was like 30 of those suckers. It was a lot. There it goes. I was gonna say if it's raining or storming, actually it'll be kind of sketchy, I would think. So only if the wind picks up and makes for choppy surf, that's dangerous. It creates a current that wouldn't have otherwise be there. That is a big sketch factor. Also lightning, obviously, because you don't want to get electrocuted. That's pretty much it. You're worried about stormy seas getting swept away, and you're worried about lightning. But just rain itself without wind and lightning is not a concern. What shark is more dangerous versus other sharks? There's, I mean, I'm not sure. What do you mean? Like if you're asking what shark would win in any fight, if you had like a battle royale between every kind of shark species, I'll tell you right now, the great white's gonna win. 'Cause it's the biggest. It's got the biggest teeth and the strongest muscles, and you know it's fast. That was cool. Let's look at that again. He actually he had one of those DJI GoPro knockoffs, you know, their new answer to the GoPro. Like one of them actually went for it there. Oh, yep, there it went. Almost got your camera.
Really close.
Do they keep the sharks away from the motor propeller? Yeah, no, they cut the engines the second we get there so we don't, you know, hurt them or anything, and they wait for them to dissipate before we turn the engines on. You definitely don't want your engines running around any wildlife. I always know how to make a stupid face right when the film stops. Alright, let's clear that stuff out and grab the hammerhead stuff. That's over here. Where's the poll? I didn't even get to see the results. What? Activity. Ah, here we go. It just says ended 5 minutes ago. It doesn't even say which one. Dang it. What? Who won the poll? What did we get? Love you too, Mita. Thanks for letting me know. Mita's going to a drum circle tonight. How hippy dippy. It's kind of exciting. I'm jealous. Do you ever want to meet a great white? Hell yeah. The koi one? Alright. We can always do these other two another time. Let me actually save this. I'll adjust it just a little bit. And save as a copy. Go here. Lemon shark puzzle. Boop. All right, there. Now I'll be able to find it easier next time. I'm gonna do the same with this one because I don't remember where it is on my file system. I knew that was going to do that. There we go. Always got to put it in just the right spot, huh? Excuse me. God. All right, here we are. We're gonna make this 400. We're only gonna take it up 100. Whoa, not 12. How did that happen? It's got a player limit of 10. I can't go higher than that. You have to subscribe for more than that. Oh, wow. I actually did start to dip down. So today, guys, the puzzle is up. By the way, I'll get you the link right now. But today, we are down to 1 day and 1 hour for the top 15 round of that top hitmaker contest I'm in. So first order of business, I'm going to pin the puzzle link. Are great whites hard to find? Extremely. I'll tell you about that in just a sec. I would love to meet a great white, but only with a dive buddy I trust with my life. There are very few people I would feel comfortable diving with a great white with. And I would very much so like to have a much larger camera in my hands as a failsafe, to where, like, if I make a mistake or I misjudge their behavior or something and they approach me, I can at least put the camera on their face. If I don't have something to help me deflect them, I do not want to, like, one of the groups that I'm looking to go diving with, they had one appear on one of their drift dives in the what is it, the Strait of Florida. But it didn't really get super duper close to them. You know, they're just sitting there around a bait box behind the boat, and great white did like a pass by them and then disappeared. All right, there we go. There's your puzzle link. I don't understand why this docking always breaks on me. There we go, now it's working. And don't forget, you can see the preview, but I'll stick it up here. Just in case, and we'll check in on that a little bit later. As usual, I'm gonna beat y'all to the first piece. Because I'm cheating. But yeah, what did you ask? Yeah, you don't want someone to leave you behind for shark. Yeah, see, that is the truth. There's gotta be a corner. I can find. Yes, corner. Was that the first one? Did I get the first? Yes. All right, y'all are on your own. But yeah, great whites are hard to find. Now, especially in terms of ecotourism, like if I had the right bait, like, I don't know, if I had like tuna chum, right? It might be easier to, it might be easier to find them. And if I was in the right place at the right time of year, like for example, right now, if I went to Cape Cod, and they're already making their way up there if they've not already arrived. That time of year, they migrate up there seasonally. And I just like had a tuna head hanging off the back of my boat in the middle of Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard. Really, really good chance I'm gonna see a great white if I wait a couple of hours, you know? But like anywhere else, just go out there and hope you're gonna see it with some bait. It's pretty slim. You have no idea what's really gonna show up. And it could be anything. Now, in terms of so like you can increase your chances by being at the right place, the right time with the right bait. But in terms of ecotourism, like, you know that there's certain sharks you can see at certain places in the world at certain times of year. Like if you go to certain towns in Mexico, you can be pretty sure you're going to see a whale shark because they have a food source from the plankton bloom that is always there at a certain time of the season. Sorry, my throat is not quite 100% yet. Now, when that comes to great whites, we're really limited because the only place you could go to dive with great white sharks reliably in this continent was Guadalupe Island, Mexico. But through a series of unfortunate events, some sharks got injured and one even died. And finally, the Mexican government said no more. We're not allowing diving anymore. They didn't say for sure they were going to ban it forever, but they did basically just put a pause on it indefinitely. Oh, seeing a blue whale would be amazing. The mouse cursor in the puzzles? Yeah, you can change them. Mine's just a watermelon right now, and if I click, it goes away. There's a bunch of different little cutesy ones. Like, yeah, here, appearance. See, there's a pumpkin. Earth? That one looks like a turd to me. I mean, let's see. Yeah, it's pretty turdy to me. Go back to the watermelon. You've probably seen, so there were 3 incidents One where a great white shark got stuck in a cage. Thank you for the lurk. Another one where a great white shark actually got inside the cage. Both of those instances, the shark was injured. But you've probably seen this video. So that was the only place you could dive with these things. So if you now my point is, if you want to dive with great whites, you have to go, unless they've opened back up the ecotourism in South Africa, which I'm honestly waiting for Shark Week to find out if the great whites have returned. Because I feel like the shark diving ecotour operators in South Africa have gone out of business ever since the great whites left. But supposedly, I'm hearing whispers that they're back. So that could be another destination. But other than that, the only place you can go dive with them is Australia. And that's a big, expensive trip. You know? It's not that much easier to get to South Africa, but it is easier. So they had a few incidents, like this one. Shark gets stuck in the cage. You can see blood coming out of the gills. It's clearly injured by having its gills stuck in the little gap and thrashing around. And this has happened a few times before, and usually the shark can get out, or it doesn't quite get all the way, its head all the way stuck, and they can still kind of just push it out by the snout. That one was pretty panicked. That was the first
There we go.
of one of these incidents. Then this happened. The shark got all the way through the gap inside the cage.
He's in the cage.
And there's a person in that cage.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, that's not the person's blood, that is the shark's blood. But that massive shark that was absolutely dwarfing the people standing on the boat was in the cage with that man. Yeah, Wheels, that would be a no for me. I don't want, that would be a no for me as well. I do not want to share any confined space with a great white, or probably any other shark for that matter. So odds are they're going to be pretty mad.
Was there anybody in there?
That was a good sized shark.
Nobody's in the cage.
Nobody's in the cage, they say, and they're like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Wait, Ming's in the cage. Get him out!" So he's probably huddling on the bottom right now.
Nobody's in the cage. Oh my god. It has to be Ming. It's Ming.
So you're still figuring it out, and there he is, finally coming out like, "Oh, I'm alive."
Hey. Jeez.
That's one lucky dude.
How did the cage
Oh.
I wonder if anybody's ever interviewed him. Surely someone has.
Are you hurt?
Yeah, I'm ready for my close-up. Imagine you're filming, you're photographing this great white, and then oh, it's just in there with you.
That is crazy.
And then, last but not least, brace yourself. This one's pretty sad. This was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. A great white finally got stuck in a cage. It was not able to free itself, and it died and floated to the bottom. This was the point at which the Mexican government said, "No more. We're done with this." I'm pretty sure this is the one. Let me double check. Or we'll see here in a sec, is what I mean to say. Yeah, I think this is the one. It's good and stuck. They're climbing out onto the boat. Don't blame them. There's one brave soul in that tank that's still photographing. Ugh. That's so unfortunate. See one of the most endangered species just belly up, floating down into the depths. Really, really sucks. Great white shark protects me. I'm so tired of those fake ass videos. So anyway, yeah, that's why it's so hard to dive with them these days. Is this still adjusted? That's a little bit better. .41 is a lot of saturation. That can't be right. Like 14 is okay. All right. And it couldn't hurt too if we see any really cool. If there's any moments like where a shark passes really close or something that look really cool, I should grab clips. This is great for that. I do need to. One thing I'm hoping to do while we're looking at this stuff tonight is I need good clips of hammerheads to throw together for some reels. So I might just take, as we're looking at the GoPro stuff especially, but in here I can take some snapshots if need be. But I'm hoping to just gather some of the best moments with the hammerheads and set those aside for making some content. I'm thinking of making like some really long compilations based on species. Be like, here's everything I have with hammerheads, you know, everything I have with bull sharks, etc. And then just put it all together into like one really long YouTube video. And then eventually, whenever I'm ready to try and monetize on YouTube, I can just put that one several hours long video out there and tell people, go watch this, and you know, it'll be, they could leave it running and walk away, and I still get the watch hours we need, right? Seems like you're hacking the system, but that's pretty much what everybody does these days. Unless you've already gone viral, you know? I already see a hammerhead just barely off the distance. There he goes. I really hate how it judders like this when it's on the edited one, or the like the one I'm actually editing live. This is the original footage. Maybe if I take the yeah, it'd probably be better to use the what's it called? The ProRes version that I put on YouTube would probably be better. Also, by the way, what I was saying earlier, that Top Hitmaker contest, I've actually got bumped down 2 places today. This is the last day. 1 hour from now, we will have 1 day left in the top 15 round. I should still be okay to make it to the next round. But it seemed like transitioning from the first round to the second round, I kept the place I was in. That would be really convenient if that's true. So, but we don't want to drop down too bad. So, here's the link for that. Please do share this with anybody who will allow you to. Because I could really use that prize money. So let me take a look here. I think I put it in the Water Wednesday folder. Live videos shortcut. Yes, there we go. Yeah, let's watch that one instead. This is garbage. Hell, we can have them all on here if we want. And we can just turn off adjusting, and it's already adjusted, and I can do this. Oh, and it's running so much better. Look at that. No more jittery stuff. Wow, we just got a couple of frames back there. Heck yeah. Let's see, did I actually vote for that today? You would think I would remember to vote for my own crap. But I actually do not remember. You get in Facebook here and double check. It got a lot more volatile today because they did something where people who donate for paid votes, they randomly were like, votes count double today. It's really messed up. Which is why I was afraid they would do something like this. So which is why I've been telling people don't spend your money on votes. Because I wasn't sure if they were going to try and pull some stuff like that where people might feel like people might regret spending money on it, you know? Like if I get bumped way out of there because a bunch of people somebody paid thousands of dollars to vote for somebody else, then it would feel like a waste. And that's the last thing I want. So this was the moment I learned my lesson that you want to be the first person off the boat so you can be right behind the feeder. Hindsight's 20/20 on that. That's what I was thinking right about this moment. Does it not full screen more than that? Because I would really like it to just take up the whole dang screen. Oh well. Excuse me. Yeah, this cough is like the one that will not go away. That bit back here was pretty good, where it was like 3 of them passing by at the same time. Oh yeah, that's cool. Maybe I can make a clip of this. What a lovely mustache. Thank you so much, Blint. Guys, go follow Science if you're not already. Treat yourself. One of the best damn streamers on the platform. Yeah, so Blint, I'm doing I don't know if you've seen it, I do a Captain Quint cosplay for Shark Week. So I gotta grow the chops out. And the mustache. That's a good one. I was really thinking of getting... Oh, Captain Quint, the fisherman from Jaws. Here, you know what? All right, you thought the you thought the one with Jeff was amusing. You'll love this. This is really stupid. I'm not gonna bother pulling it up on Instagram though. I'll just go get the actual video file. Don't you have a stream to go do? Project. It was. Hell is it? Oh yeah. This the one? Do you wish every week could be Shark Week? This was last summer. Well, then I'd say you're in the right place, Chief. Farewell and adieu to ye fair Spanish ladies. I take it you've seen Jaws at least,
Farewell
right?
and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For
You've
we've
never...
received
What?
orders for to sail back to Boston. And so nevermore shall we see you again.
Lord help me.
Join us Thursday, June 27th for a special...
Hold on. Hold, please. He's the fisherman that they hire to hunt down the rogue shark. Is that command not working? Did I not? Ah. Freaking mix it up, man. All right, mix it up is refreshed. Oh, and I should probably actually launch it. How about that? How about that? So yeah, he's got this big opening scene where they're looking for somebody to hire to hunt the shark, and he draws it on the chalkboard and scratches his nails down the wall. It's this big epic intro scene. He's like, y'all know me, know how I make a living. And he makes his living hunting sharks and like selling the jaws and stuff. So he's a real prick. He's modeled after a guy that was a shark culler in like he would cull sharks to kill them in Australia in the 70s. A guy named Vic Hislop. This is the real world Vic. Well, I guess the American cinema version of Vic is what I meant to say. Sick brain, still a little bit. And he's a really well-written character. Moments where you love him, moments where you hate him. He goes absolutely bonkers. Bit of a loose cannon. His story is he was on the USS Indianapolis, which was a notorious. This is actually
A what?
The ship that delivered the Hiroshima bomb was sank by a Japanese submarine, and a ton of people went in the water, and there were very few survivors, and a lot of them, because it was a secret operation, so there was no rescue team. They were there for several days, and a lot of people were eaten by, they suspect, oceanic whitetips at that incident. It's often talked about as like the most horrific shark attack in history. So they based his character off of being a victim or one of the survivors from that incident. And now he hates sharks because his brothers in arms were eaten by them after delivering the bomb. So he's got a great backstory. He's a really well-written character. And I dress up like him during Shark Week and Shark Fest in July. So that's a thing. I even made another video. Where's that one? Where like I gave him a whole backstory as to like there's a marine biologist named Hooper in the movie, and I made up this backstory where like he convinces Quint how important they are to the ecosystem, and he's like, I gave up shark fishing and went to retire to Florida. And I've got a video in here for that. I hope I didn't toss that one. Yeah, that one's not here in the folder, but it's on the Insta. Oh, the mustache plays. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty scruffy. It's very sparse for me. That's why I have to get such a far head start on growing it out. Unfortunately, that also means that, check this out, Turgis's glasses came in clutch. These things are going to be fantastic, but they're here pretty freaking early.
But they do the job. I'll tell you what, I do in fact look like I sell propane and propane accessories.
So that's gonna be fun. I had to glue these bad boys together. But that'll have to wait until after Shark Week to make that happen. Don't you cool down me. Yeah, take that. Hold on a sec. I will find that other one. They got me, Belint. That next top hitmaker thing, I was in second place this morning, and then they announced that all day today, people who pay for votes get double the votes. And I fell down to 4th. But it's okay. I've only got to get to 15th to make it through this round. Where's that one I'm looking for? Oh, wrong way. There you go. There you go. There's where the action is. Yeah, okay, here it is. This was the actual teaser for the trivia game I cooked up. Oh, dang it. Why'd I do that? Go back. It makes it smaller when I do that. It's way down here because it's almost a year old. There it is. Announcement for you today. I've just confirmed that we've got a famous shark hunter turned conservationist who wants to come and host the channel for the duration of Shark Fest and Shark Week. His videos
First,
are
there's
gorgeous.
just one
No,
burning question that I gotta ask him.
Am I crazy or did we see you get eaten by a shark?
Don't believe everything you see on the silver screen, Chief. Yeah, we killed that shark with ease, and I was never
You can't
sane
tell, but
after
that's a
that.
pretty good impression.
Hooper helped me see the impact I was having on the ocean. So I retired and moved to Florida.
That's his kind of his
Studied
thing. He
everything
drinks
I could find
Narragansett
about sharks.
and always
even picked up a
crushes the
few new
can.
hobbies, like the guitar. Video games, GG. Even bought one of them quadcopter whirlybirds.
Cool. So what's next for Captain Quint?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm actually...
Oh, that was
Oh
my
my
favorite
God.
part was Mita sneaking up behind me in the
everybody,
onesie,
tune in on
and then I
this
played
Thursday,
me
June
putting it on
27th,
in
and let's
reverse.
help save Captain
Or
Quint.
taking it off in
What's
reverse.
up, everybody? I've got a big announcement for you.
And went,
I've
"Ah!"
just confirmed that we've got a famous shark hunter turned conservationist who wants to come and host the channel for the duration of Shark Fest and Shark Week. But first, there's just one burning question that I gotta ask him. Am I crazy or did...
How we doing over here? I've got a lovely picture of some koi fish that I took with my split shot lens at the Dallas Arboretum here. So I'm half underneath the water, half above. And wow, maybe I should have done more than 400 pieces. This is nuts. Is that you, Wheels? Are you Noisy Dragoon? Who's Noisy Dragoon last time? That was that a made up name or? Whoever it is, you're hauling ass. Sparky, why do I feel like that's you? I see you. Yeah, I know. I was really happy with that. That was, it's like, it's a split shot case for a GoPro. So I don't have a big fancy camera. I just have my phone and a GoPro and a 360. Oh, it's you? Okay, I got you. Oh, that's fine. I didn't want to call you out too much, but I did. But yeah, I just bought it and I had wanted to test it, so we had a friend who was actually proposing to his fiance, or I guess now his wife, that day at the Arboretum. So I brought it with us, dunked it in the water, and got this shot. And yeah, I can't wait to take it more places. Let me see if I can snag an edge piece that y'all have missed before we carry on here. Come on. You can't have gotten all of them. Missing some there. What's up, Sparky? How you doing?
Are you having a happy hump day?
Wow, those last few edges really are just escaping me. Yeah, see what I did there? Broke out the gopher whistle. Having a gap in your teeth really helps with that. So you can talk like you got some popsicles in the cellar. Just wait for the muscly arm paperboy to bring me some good news. Aha! I'm helping. I put in the corner. Okay, that was back here somewhere, but back to the sharks. Boop. There we go. What about family friendly? What did I say? This is not a family friendly channel. I did not declare that at any point. We can be if I need to be, if I'm expecting like a guest who needs it to be. But yeah, I never made that promise.
Gifted
Whoa.
subscription.
Dude, Bulent, that is so nice of you. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Wheels for 3 months. That's awesome. I know he'll use it. Oh man, excuse me. BRB for real this time, he says. You know what really blows me away about this one, and it never ceases to perplex me, is the fact that we can't see the boat on this dive. The boat is just out of range where things start to fade away on the camera view. And again, that's just because it's a tiny 1-inch sensor on the camera. But like you can see the anchors right here behind Johnny's head. And you can see the rope leading up to the boat, and it just vanishes in the distance. And it's not even that far away. Like that anchor's maybe like 12 feet from me, but everything's kind of fisheye, so it looks farther. And so the boat maybe like 30, and you just can't even, not even a silhouette. Just not there. Ooh, that's a good one. That's 5 in the same shot. Heck yeah. I really should start grabbing clips of these. Damn it, Xbox, your Twitch app crashed. Oh. Oh, that's next level. That frees you up to use your phone. Smart. I love this when the guides are just like walking around like we're on land, because they've got so much weight on their belt. There's a couple of nurse sharks. And I think that's the bull, the one bull shark we had on this dive. Skulking around in the back. Things kind of settling in, so Neil coming in to coax us a little closer. Ooh, did you see that shadow of a hammerhead behind me? It's way back there. It looks so much more ominous when they're just a silhouette on the background than when they're actually right there in front of you. I don't know, now I kind of see hammerheads as more like goofy than imposing, you know? Like, I see this when I see a hammerhead now. No lie. I see like this emoji when I see a hammerhead because their head goes like that, you know? Like, that's weird. That's pretty cool. I could track that one and get a clip of that. So cool to see a nurse shark just gliding in like that. Look at that. He's barely kicking his tail. My bad. Sorry, ma'am. Oh, yes. Come right at the camera. That's a good one. Okay, we're going to get a clip of that. That's a really, really good moment right there. So, here's how you do that. You've got these sliders on the left and right. You have to isolate the moment you want to clip. I can scroll in to make it a little bit more granular. Okay, so it's after this. He turns and does his thing, and this hammerhead comes at us. I think that moment right there where it starts to show its mouth open and it's staring right at me, right about there, just before that, that's where I want it to start. That's really cool. And we'll stare right at it, follow the head, and stop like right about there. Yeah, when the tail starts to kick the other way. Whoosh. Okay. Stop it right there. And let's see, so if we take that slider, come back a bit. Now I've actually got to frame it, so here's what we're gonna do. Deep track, can we do deep tracking? Let's try it. We're gonna select this shark right there. Yes, follow the shark. Oh, it kind of worked. That's pretty cool. Yep. Okay, so let's watch that back. And is it smooth, or should I do it manually? That's not bad. That's pretty okay, if I do say so myself. Or should I just keyframe it? I should probably just keyframe it. Okay, so we start over here. And then you could also do weird stuff, like when you get to the middle keyframe, I could like have it zoom out, look at the group, and zoom back in, look at the shark. Like I could start here, right? Okay, we'll start right there for the first keyframe. This is gonna be a weird one, okay? So we're gonna start here. Mega view, what is that even? Okay, it's gonna remember our position there. Now, we're gonna advance a little bit forward. 1, 2. Oh, actually, I should go back a little bit if we're gonna do that. Yeah. Just go back a tiny bit and move that keyframe back to the start. Okay. And now when that shark, pow, turns just like that. I'm going to hit this keyframe button, add another one. And with that keyframe selected, see as I move, it changes the numbers. Now I can reframe it the way I want, right onto the animal. All right, we'll add another one right here. I'll back it off a little bit. Just one scroll of the wheel there. All right. And then we'll hit play. Scroll a little more. Over to here. Keyframe it again. And to the end, which is going to be, oops. Right at the end is going to be over here. I don't want to zoom in too much. And we'll just add one last one. Okay, so what does that look like now if I go all the way back? Hammerhead. Whoosh. And then at the end of that clip, I'll transition to something else. That's pretty neat. So let's see. Export this. Export as video, like a reframed video, not a 360 video for once. Let me make a directory for this. Call this Great Hammerhead Compilation. Great Hammerhead 360_1. How about that? H264. Yeah, that's fine. Do 5. We can go with a higher resolution for now because I'm not posting this to socials. I'm going to edit this and then post that result to socials. So I thought I had presets for this. What gives? Oh, it's going to be 1080 anyway in the end, so that's probably fine. No, I need to do it at a higher resolution. Hold up. 25, 60 by 1440 should do it. All right, start export. That's a 51 megabyte video. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, that was done pretty quick. So now I will just do away with our keyframes. We can get right back to enjoying it. Drag that handle all the way back out. There we go, no more keyframes, all good. And we're back in business. Just like that. Like it never happened. Oh, wow, there's actually a lot more. There we go. Now it's good. Welcome back. I just got a pretty cool clip of this hammerhead shark rolling on by. Could be a good one. Really like the way they're passing by each other. I know later on there's a couple of really close passes that would be cool. Oh, that's neat. I'm looking for something that's going to look good from zoomed out, you know, like when the shark comes super duper close. That's going to be the real, like, keeper in terms of using for Instagram reels or YouTube videos. I gotta stop looking so serious, man. When I'm really focused on something like this, I'm like... I look so pissed when I'm focused. That raises a question in my mind. What do you call it? What is the male version of resting bitch face? Like if you're a guy and you have RBF, you're not a bitch. Is that... Would it be resting dick face? It's a serious question. I feel like that's a good one. Okay, this might be a good clip right here, where this shark comes rolling by. Ooh, yeah, it came really close, and there's a second one right behind it. Men can be bitches too. Yeah, but that's not necessarily what they intend, you know? Like, if somebody just looks like a jerk, you know? I'm not gonna say that guy has RBF, you know? Like, if he seems like pretentious and sassy, like, I might say he does, you know what I mean? But, I don't know. I feel like RDF should be a thing. Do the same deal here, like right about there. Or what else could we do? Start like this maybe this time? Let's get weird with it. Has a face like a slapped butt? What? What on earth? That's so random, I don't even know what to make of it. Face like a slap, so it's red? I don't know. And you know immediately what that's making me think of, right? Hold on, I gotta show you. When you say that, that's making me think of these things from Star Wars. What? I'm gonna find one of those edge pieces, dang it. We will complete that border. Nothing else. Where are you?
That is gonna drive me insane in the membrane selling propane.
Oh, there's one. Bink. Still got it. Okay, let's try another weird one here, right? So this is kind of what I was doing while you were gone, Wheels. Is I go from a weird angle. Oh,
Stop! Stop, I say!
okay. And then we'll add a keyframe. We'll start the thing right here. I'll add a keyframe at this exact location, right? And then we hit play. And right about there, where we see the shark making kind of a cute face, I'll just move it up here and add another keyframe and see how the software handles it. All right, and now as it passes by, we just kind of follow it and add keyframes to smooth it out. And the last one will be right there. And then right about there is enough. We'll end the clip right there. Okay, now if I zoom way in on it, and we just let it play, it looks like that. Okay, it happens a little too fast, but it's still a pretty cool shot. Let me actually select that keyframe and let's make it even more distorted. There we go. Now it's like a little tiny marble situation. Just a ball. Ooh. Tiny planet. Not what I was going for. Mega view, ultra wide, D-warp, linear. Nah. None of the above. I kind of like this situation. Yeah, now let's play that and see that. Oof, that happens way too quick. Okay, hold on. So it needs a minute. We need to space out that keyframe to like maybe halfway there. Yeah. Okay, that might be a little smoother. Let's see what it does. That's better. There we go. And then isn't that neat? If I could speak. There we go. Now maybe in that last keyframe we zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Now let's try that one more time. This should kind of slowly zoom in on the sharks. Yeah. Boom. However, I just had a thought. So I'm trying to do this in 9:16 because it's going to be social media. So, ooh. Unless I was to just cut it up and reframe it, which was easy to do with the one I just exported because it's just one shark, but we're trying to capture two this time. So let's do it this way, and I'll actually frame it that way for this resolution. So now let's grab our keyframes again and zoom in a bit. There we go. Now, what about this one? Oh, yeah, that will not do. Yeah, because it's just all wonky. Okay. How about de-warp? Nope. Back to Mega. Well, that didn't work at all. There. That's pretty rad. Now, on to the second one. Like I said, let's do a little de-warp action on it. Yeah, there we go. This one... Ultra? Yeah. How does this one look with Ultra? Versus de-warp. Linear is like straight at you. Okay, let's actually click in 2 more. There we go. Now on this one, it's kind of right up in your face. Looks great. Not gonna mess with that. Let's keep going with the Ultra and just rotate it a little bit so he's fully in the frame there. And then it's gonna zoom out as the other one goes into frame, and that actually looks kind of sick. But with this, let's see if that looks better in ultra wide. And now just play it. Magnified. Hey, how you doing? I'm nailing it. Oh, thank you so much. I get it. Hammerhead jokes. Ha I wish I was better at making emotes and I could make one that included like a hammerhead that says nailed it and has like the hammerhead, you know, nailing a nail with its head. That would be great. Unfortunately, all I have is this derp emote with a little bonnet head with bug eyes and a tongue out. I was worried it wouldn't be obvious. Yeah. How you doing? Welcome in. I am reviewing some 360 footage from Bimini back in November and just grabbing some clips of the closest passes, prettiest moments, things like that, for later use on the social medias. Maybe if this bit here zooms out as they go away, but only slightly. This frame will just go bam, like that. Just one click. It's gonna really gradually back away. Nah, you don't even notice it. One more. Another one. And actually what I'm gonna do here too is back up the beginning and add one more keyframe right at the start. Right here, it's gonna be, oh wait. Can I copy a keyframe? Oh, that's reset. Yes, okay, so it's same keyframe. So now you'll actually have a moment of being able to see this view before it moves. Whoosh, there we go. I could even go back a little bit farther. Oops. And grab that one and drag it back to the beginning. Stop it. Grab the keyframe. There you go. Let me go like that and hit play again. Whee! Hammer 1. Check. Hammer 2. Slight zoom out. Not noticeable at all. Why not? What if this one changed to another lens view? Ooh. That's cool. Okay. Let's do that. So we start out like this, and we end on the inverse. Okay. Hammerhead. 2 Hammerhead. Tiny planet. Yeah. That's cool. I dig that. Ship it. Yeah, nothing else I want to do with that. That's going to be 2560. And no other changes except this. We're going to call that number 2. Oh my god, yes, remove grain. Thank god that's still an option. Why wasn't this an option for 360 exports? I was trying to do that for the YouTube uploads, and it takes that option away for the 360 exports. That sucks. Procrastinating? Someone's been hiding hundreds of fossil shark teeth all over downtown here. Really? Where is here? If you don't mind my asking. I think I would like to be wherever somebody is hiding fossil shark teeth. That sounds cool as hell. Upper Michigan, really? That's such a random place. I thought for sure you were gonna say like Naples, you know? Let's see, if I do that export again, and now I switch this to 360 video, is that remove grain? No, it's still there. What the hell? Okay, if I do ProRes though, does it go away? Oh my god. I'm telling you, guys, this media processing remove grain button was gone when I made this video and uploaded it to YouTube. What is going on? I can't even. Okay, well, I need to re-export all of these as ProRes videos then, and remove the grain. Because I definitely did not have that option to do that in the last version of this software. What is going on, Insta360? Hey, Fluffy, how you doing? Nope, they are mostly tiny, but I've seen some slightly bigger ones. Technology doesn't like you. Yeah, you are so right. It's funny because, like, I'm pretty handy with most technology. I'm a very fast learner when it comes to software and hardware. But, like, in terms of if there are bugs, I will find them. If there are any bugs, any crashes in a software, I will find it. I have that sort of yeah, I guess I need to use that option every time. That is cray. I cannot believe that wasn't there before. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just reeling from that because, like, I spent so much time trying to figure out why that option wasn't there. If I turn this back on and no. Okay, I'm gonna have to play with this afterwards. So this is a ProRes video we're looking at, which is the highest possible resolution. And I've exported it already as a ProRes video so I could upload it to YouTube and it would be highest possible resolution. When I did that, I had no option for remove grain. Now we're playing back the ProRes export instead of the original footage. And I do have a remove grain option. So will it still do that when I go open the other? I need to try that. Hey Google, set a reminder for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Re-export all 360 videos with remove grain option. Oh. Sometimes, Google, I hate you so much. As I said, if there's a bug, I'll find it. She knew exactly who I was when I told her to add something to the calendar. She had no problem with that. And then when I actually told her what to add, she was like, oh, wait, sorry, I forgot who you are. So I can't put that thing in the calendar that I told you I'd put in the calendar because I can't verify your voice. Oh. Makes me nuts. I'll do it manually, punk. Right. So, tasks. Add. New task for tomorrow at 10. Re-export all 360 videos with remove grain enabled. Yeah, I'm probably going to be reposting these on YouTube with that on because they look real bad without it. It must have been, there's been so many updates for this app. It must have been an update. It must have been an update that removed it and brought it back. I can't think of any other thing because I was having no problem finding that feature originally. And then it's at a certain point when I went and filmed this and was ready to export these to YouTube, suddenly it was gone and I was panicking like, what did I do wrong? But it'll be easy enough to figure out. Tomorrow I'll just load the original again, verify if the option is there. If it is not, I'll do a test run of exporting it from this one with the option that it did just give us and see if that quality is better, if it does in fact remove the grain. Timer set to midnight. Yeah, Wheels, you get it. That's exactly the kind of crap she pulls. And like sometimes, I swear, Mita and I will be talking, and she'll just chime in, and I'll be like, whatever I sound didn't even sound like your cue. You know? The hey, it doesn't even sound like that. And she'll just pitch in her 2 cents about something random. Like, I'll be talking to you right now about, hey, look at that funny emote Wheels just posted. And suddenly the Google Assistant will go, I couldn't find any information about that, but I did find an article about brain aneurysms. Do you want to see that? I'm like, what? She's spying? Yeah, no, like she chimes in with like random stuff that doesn't make any sense and like has nothing to do with the conversation. That's what gets me. And the worst offense, the one thing that pisses me off the most about Google is the timers. So I use it all the time. I'll say like, set a tea timer for 5 minutes, and it'll set a timer for 5 minutes. It'll go off. I know my tea's done steeping. It's great, right? Super convenient. However, then when it starts going off, you say, stop. But it never understands me the first time. I will have to say stop at least 4 times. Every time. I did it today. I said stop like 6 times. So by the end, I'm like, stop. And it pauses and it goes, and does it again. I'm like, I said stop. And it does it again a few seconds later. I think it's done, but then it does it again a few seconds later because it's intermittent, right? And at the end, I'm like, stop, stop, stop! Like, I'm just like yelling, blood vessels bulging out of my face, sitting there yelling at a speaker like an idiot. I'm more of a put something in the stove, wait for the smoke alarm to remind me kind of type. Flug, I've done that once. I made charcoal briquettes out of cookies one time. It only took me one time to learn my lesson, though, thankfully. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was really focused on something, and I completely forgot about those cookies. All right, so we need to get back to the main video now that we exported that. I'm gonna try that next time. Just be like, silence! See how it does. Now I usually just say something really rude like, hey Google, shut the hell up. She actually did it without back talking that time. Sometimes she'll tell you not to be rude. Hey Google, why do you suck so bad at stopping timers? You hear that back talk? Hey Google, why do you always fail to stop the timers when I tell you to?
Sorry, I don't understand.
That's convenient. It's convenient. She doesn't understand, guys. She doesn't understand. Yeah, it's funny because if anybody were to listen to the way I talk to the Google Assistant, I am so rude to the Google Assistant, and it's on purpose because like I reserve like she doesn't, you know, it's just, I refuse to anthropomorphize the Google Assistant, so I reserve the right to treat it like crap. You know, because like that's a machine. It is a tool, and I will be mean to it. Damn it, like because I can. But anybody who like, if somebody were just walking by and like heard the way I talk to the Google Assistant, I promise you they would assume I beat my wife. Like they'd be like, this guy for sure, his poor wife. Oh my god, I can't imagine how he speaks to her. But like. I promise you that, like, she and I have never so much as even, like, raised our voices at each other. Like, we're one of the most, like, obnoxiously sweet couples, but, like, I am so mean to that speaker. And I'm not even ashamed. I tell my phone to F off when my notifications go off. When the AI takes over, she will remember, shouts over his shoulder, I appreciate your hard work and service, Google AI Overlord. Yeah. Yeah, some AI android robot's gonna push me off a cliff, and last thing I'm gonna hear is it leaning over my shoulder going, I never forgot. It'll be like, stop this timer, bitch. And just push me off of a building or something. Oh, man. Okay, let's go back to 69 for a minute and look for another cool pass by the Sharks. And to try to isolate our next cool clip. Shall we? Shenanigans aside, moving right along. So yeah, that's my rant about the Google Assistant. I love the thing, but man, it can really get me ticked off. However, one of my favorite things about it is that when my friends, I have certain friends back in Texas that I know have Google Home, and one of them, no tiger sharks on this dive, Fluffy, just hammerheads, and there was a nurse shark in the background over here. I'll point them out to you as the species come up. And there's one bull shark that makes an appearance briefly. But anyway, so these are great hammerheads right here. You can tell because they have really, really tall dorsal fins. And there's a nurse shark creeping up behind this guy. And you can't see right now, but I'm pretty sure that one passing behind him way, way, way in the background is a bull shark. Ooh, that was a good pass right there. Go back just a tad. We use this one? I think I have some closer ones than that. I really love the notch in the fin right there, though. That looks beautiful. Anyway, so an old friend of mine joins the chat last year, right? He has a Google Assistant. Or he has a Google Home speaker set up, and he's got the whole house wired to it, and I know this. So I do too, but he's got like way more lights hooked up to it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, he's got like 20 something lights in his house hooked up to this thing, and other electronics, God knows what else. So I'm sitting here making it do stupid stuff, and I just happened to mention, I think we were having another rant about AI being frustrating, right? And I go, hey Google, what does a fart sound like?
This is a fart.
Thank you. And he makes a joke about, oh yeah, thanks, the speaker on my desk just farted. And it was at that moment he knew he messed up. because that, yeah, I'm sure he could see me light up because I remembered I made this face. I was like, I remember that guy has his whole house wired to his Google Assistant. So at that point, he gave away that I was not on headphones, and I was in fact coming through speakers on his desk. So I said, as loud as I could, "Hey Google, turn off all the lights." It just did it.
3 lights off.
And only one of them was actually on. So with one command, via Twitch, I turned off 20-something lights, like 23 lights in my oldest friend's house. And I posted it with the chat on my Instagram, if you scroll back far enough. Let me go find it. It's worth it. It's pretty funny. Ooh, why is the video slowing down so much just because I opened a browser tab? That's crazy. But yeah, his reaction was worth the whole thing. It was so funny. And I think I gave it a title, Trolling Google Assistant or something like that. Like a, a thumbnail that actually had, that was when I actually realized you should probably put titles on the thumbnails of your videos. Yeah, here we go, I found it. All right, ready? Trolling Google Home.
Hey Google, set a reminder for tomorrow at 9 a.m.
The bottom half is the chat.
Got it. Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
No way! I set that reminder for you too? That's hilarious!
Yeah. But he's like, dang it, you just did that on mine too.
Hey Google, turn off all the lights. I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Turning off 3 lights.
I won't do it again, I promise. I don't even know if you use Google Home for that, but if you did, I'm sure. 13 lights just turned off. Oh man, that's
Okay, I was off I overshot it by 10, but
I'm sorry. If you want to make the world a better place and have a good time doing it, come watch Shark Geek every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday afternoon on Twitch.
when I was doing Monday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Set a reminder for tomorrow.
So yeah, that was the time I punked my buddy with Google Home. I thought that was pretty fun. Thought the sound of the video doing that was my headset being goofy. Video doing, oh, the bubbles stopping? No, it was actually doing that. All I did was open another browser tab, and that made, and the fact that I deselected Insta360 like made it start chugging. It became a background process basically instead of the foreground application, and it did not like that at all. It really seemed like that hammerhead was going after that nurse shark there for a second, didn't it? Like it was going straight for it. Even kind of vectored a little bit to go at him. And then left. It was like, oh, just a nurse shark. Too tough. Too chewy. And that was kind of neat too. You can see how the other two hammers kind of come out of the murk there. And yes, I did say 2. That was 2. So there's 1 on the right. Actually, yeah, that's a 3rd. 2 on the left. That might be a nurse on the right. It is a nurse on the right. And then 2 on the left here. I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. Ooh. We gotta use that for something. That's a cool moment. Oh, and there's another one back there behind Neil. Hey Google, start the car and put it in drive. Oh, imagine.
I don't see that vehicle linked to your Google account. You may want to check the devices page in Assistant Settings.
It tried to do it. Flu, what the hell? It actually tried to do it. Like, okay, yeah, I guess there's some smart cars that you can start remotely, but obviously it wouldn't do the shifting, but wow, I didn't think you could just use your voice to start it. That's nuts. Is the hammerhead any good at going after another shark? Seems the shape of their head puts their mouth at a bad angle for
open wide bits. Not like the others with a more faces all mouth opening angle. That's a great observation, Flugan. Actually, I've focused on that a lot to showcase to people that they're not threatening to humans. That's when I said my notifications infuriate me, I meant the useless ones. Ah, I see. They're not dangerous to humans because, like, they seem to know that they couldn't bite us if they wanted to. Their head would hit us and they would just stop. You know what I mean? Like, one could ram you in the head or with its head to your chest and, like, maybe look up and, like, take a little chunk out of you and definitely, like, scar you up. Or maybe if your hand was at the wrong place at the wrong time, it got your hand, it could hurt your hand, maybe take some fingers, maybe even the whole hand if it really like grabbed it and thrashed around a lot. But probably not. Nobody's ever been killed by a hammerhead, and it is probably because of their behavior and their head morphology. So they can't, thank you so much for the shout out to Fluke, by the way. They can't really get a good angle on us, right? And that's because they are like purpose built to hunt stingrays. They are designed to find prey that is hidden beneath the sand. Their head is like a metal detector, using their ampullae of Lorenzini, their electroreceptors on their head, or their cephalofoil, to detect minute electrical impulses of animals that are underneath the sand. I'm sure that probably also includes certain amounts of crustaceans, maybe. But the only thing I know for sure that they hunt is stingrays, which are their whole MO is burying themselves in the sand. They're great at that because another thing they use that head for is to, as soon as they find a stingray, they just boom, push their head to the ground, quite literally like a hammer hitting a nail, and they nail that hammerhead to the ground. This is actually the theme for the next song I'm writing called Bring the Hammer Down. Is hunting stingrays. In fact, literally the first word when I originally was writing it was going to be, if you're a stingray, you're going to have a bad day. It was like, if you're a stingray, you're going to have a bad day. I can see you hiding in the sand with my ampullae. My hammerhead will make you wish that you were dead when I pin you to the seafloor, when I bring the hammer down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, nope, that sounds like an Offspring ripoff, so we're going to make it thrashy. So I scrapped it. But you get the idea. So in terms of fighting other sharks, I mean, like, it's certainly not a typical thing, but they certainly can. That's weird. The shout out popped up on my TV, but not on my phone. Huh. How about that? Yeah, that's weird. I just got notified the ad break is coming, but all 3 snoozes are already gone, and I haven't used any this stream. That's so weird. Sounds catchy? Yeah. So I realized, Wheels, the reason I scrapped it was because it sounds almost exactly like staring at the sun from Offspring. As you're staring at the sun, whoa, as you're staring at the sun. It has the same cadence, like the lyrics would have fit over that song perfectly. So I was like, oh, well, we're not doing that. It would not have counted as a derivative work because it was different enough, but I still wouldn't want to go forward with it. I don't want that vibe. I want it to be harder than that. You know, I want it to be thrash. So let's see. Let's rewind this a little bit here to when this moment starts, and let's see if we can get a cool angle on it. But yeah, smaller sharks, certainly hammerheads can go after them. I've never seen anything prey on a nurse shark, quite honestly. Even the tiger sharks, I'm sure it's possible. If one got really hungry and wanted to, it could take on a nurse shark. But I have personally never seen any account even of a hammerhead or nurse or any other shark going after a nurse shark, just because they have thick skin and they're not an easy meal, you know? They're looking for things they can just snap up that's not going to fight back much. And the minimal amount
of risk and danger. So if a hammerhead were to look at another shark, I would think that would be a last resort. But I will fact check that real quick, because now I want to be certain I'm not lying. They do in fact, they are known to eat other sharks, including other hammerheads. I have to think, though, that's a last resort. That's like if they're not able to get any fish, if they're not finding any stingrays. Oh, they're actually considered shark and ray specialists. Huh. They will eat the young hammerheads if food is scarce, it says. They do eat crustaceans. Okay, so yeah, anything that's buried in the sand that they find, they will go for. And even squids sometimes, okay. But yeah, they'll pin it down when they find it in the sand, and then start to rip off pieces, like rip off a wing of the stingray, so it can't get away. You know? Alright, so let's see if I move this back here, and let's go back to, like, phone resolution, or words, aspect ratio. And I'll start this way this time. We'll begin right there. Add a keyframe here, just like that. Not changing anything. Just the hammerhead poking over my shoulder. Let's go back a little bit. And drag that keyframe all the way to the start. Okay. Better to have more than not enough. Oh, that was entirely too much. Hold on. When does that shark make its appearance? Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's just go back to, like, here, when it's behind Neil. That's pretty cool. We'll start there. So, give me that. Actually, I'm gonna have to remove that keyframe first. Dang it. Move to my position there. Where, oh, where did my hammerhead go? There it is. One keyframe. Ah. Okay. Now, we hit play. Let it enter the frame. And when it starts to come overhead, boom, as it turns, I'm gonna zoom in on it. Right here. Start the car. Nice. I do have a, I think I made a clips channel in the Discord as well. If you want to throw it in there. All right, let's see how that plays. So we're waiting. The shark appears. I was kind of hoping it was going to snap to it, actually. So I need to make another keyframe. Copy this one, and now go back a little bit. Wait, no. No. We copy this one. Yeah, and then we go just to, like, maybe there. Okay. So it's going to stay static, and then it moves when it passes overhead. That's what I want. Okay. Okay, and now we go from that one to... What am I going to do? We're going to zoom out this time. Maybe have it Tiny Planet on us.
with the hammerhead passing over, or do we want to see as much detail as possible? Let's see, right here, if I add a keyframe, let's try the different tests. We have crystal ball. I don't really know what the application of this would be. Tiny planet. Meow. That's pretty neat. But you're not really seeing much of the shark when it's like that. So what if we change it to mega ultra wide? There we go. Oh, what did that just do? Let's see. Cool. That'll gradually go to that shot there. There. Okay, now if we go back to the start, how does that look? Pretty good. That's a good one. Ship it. What? Oh. 25, 60. Yeah, there we go. At 45, what? What the hell? Oh. Put it in the wrong side. There we go. Underscore 3. This is the third clip, I think. Export. Great. All right. Now we'll just nuke all of these keyframes I just put. Oops, I hope that finished before I did that. I hope it's not gonna just get rid of the keyframes because I was deleting them while it was exporting. That'd be kind of weird. Oh man, all right, I'll tell you what, so I do have, like I said, I have GoPro footage. We have less than an hour left in the night. I have GoPro footage of hammerheads from the same dive we saw Joker on that I have never shown you guys. That footage you've seen of that dive from the GoPro is only 1/3 of the folder from that whole dive. So I could quickly skim through this and see if there's any other clips I want to grab first. Or we could just change gears right now and go start looking at that stuff, if you prefer. I leave it up to you guys. I'm fine with either. Because I could totally just get these clips on my own time. Oh, this is a good one, though. This is a really good pass. You are a chonky Chonkosaurus Rex hammerhead, aren't you? That's a really, really good pass. The nurse shark in the background's kind of even better. How about I just flip through here? We'll see if there's any like really good ones. I love this one that had this like telltale notch out of its fin. I think we might have even seen that one on the second dive too. Like the next day. You know, it could be kind of funny too, is if I go get like a soundbite of a jet flying by, and I just like in moments like this, when the hammerheads are zooming around each other, I'll just add the jet sounds like. I don't know, it's funnier in my head maybe. Like this scene right here. Look at everybody's bubbles hitting the surface. Isn't that pretty? All right, I was scanning for a really cool moment. Anything that we really want to get for social media. That is a really heavy-duty hammerhead. Yeah, maybe I'll make a second one where I add sound effects to it. That could be funny. I guess I'm slowly turning the camera because there's no keyframes. It's just doing that. Weird. I'm not doing that at all. It's just rotating to the left by itself for no reason at all. What's up with that? Whoa, that one was screaming. Look how fast that one went. What the heck? All right, there's our jet plane, and I'm looking at it like, where are you going in such a hurry? See, again, we've watched this one so many times in this stream, and yet every time I notice something new. And literally, I should remember this because I turned and looked at it when it happened. Although actually, I think I'm looking at that hammerhead over there on the right. Not that one above me, but let's rewind a little bit because that sucker came in hot. All right, it starts like right here. Yeah, it bugged out, man. It's okay. Yeah, exactly. Like cue the sound effects for a freaking Indy 500 car or something. That was crazy. All right, it was right about here. You're gonna see it come flying out from behind the feeders. There it is. Okay, it's just cruising, and then boom, something freaked it out, and it was just like, I'm out of there. Dude, what was that? Let's look really close. Maybe if I just crank the heck out of the definition here. It's gonna make it grainy, so bear with me, but I'm just trying to be able to see what was going on. Okay. What freaked that shark out? Let's see, what can I do to get the shark to pop a little bit more? There you go. You can kind of see it better now. Wow, it like arched its back and like just zoomed out of there. I don't see anything the divers did. Nobody's like poking their stick at it or anything. There's not another hammerhead that's clearly like right behind it. I didn't hear any sounds like somebody banging on their tank or anything. It's clearly not going for a prey item. I think something freaked it out. Get me out of here indeed, Wheels. It's like... It like kind of went, whoa, you know, and like reared back a little bit, kicked really hard with the tail, and made sure it got out of there in a hurry. But what's cool about that is it shows you just how quickly the hammerheads really can accelerate. That's kind of their whole thing. They're not built for long, sustained speed. But wow, that almost looked fake. It got so fast, so quickly. It sped up so fast. I'm gonna keep watching over there for a second after that passes. Does another animal come out of the murk or something? Okay, so there was a second guy with a camera over there, and then the other hammerhead that got a feed just now passed by. That's it. I didn't see anything else. Dude, that thing bugged out. That was absolutely insane. Oh, he noticed it. Zoom. Meanwhile, the other one's just casually waiting in the lunch line to get their turn. I'm like, hey, dude, hammerhead, look at it. He's like, oh, yeah, yep, that's a shark. Mm-hmm. It was so zen. He did not care. Like, it took me a good, like, 12 seconds to get his attention one time to let him know a bull shark was creeping up behind him. And he was like, oh, all right. See right there, it passes right over. The nurse shark doesn't even mess with it. And I have totally messed up all of these settings. There we go. Looks way better now. Let's take that hammerhead right here and see what angle it came in at. Maybe this would be a good time to try and do one of these shots. Because you'll see one behind us and one in front of us. 9:15. Nah. I think I'd want it to be a closer pass than that. That does look pretty cool, though. So there's like an oh crap hand signal or a point where you don't point because your arm sticking out looks like bait. Do you have those little snappy bands on your air tank? You mean like something to hit the tank to make noise? So we all had a PVC pipe that like if one of the great hammerheads bumped into us by mistake, that we were instructed to stick put the stick out, and you know their head hits the stick instead of us, and we put it vertically, and it would run into the stick, and we would just redirect it. We never had to do that, and I'm not surprised because the hammerheads are very aware of their surroundings. They have almost 360-degree vision, and they have binocular vision, so they're good at depth perception. One of them did accidentally like bump into somebody, I think on the next dive, but they were just, you know, it kind of went like, oh, sorry, and just went the other way. It wasn't like a big ordeal, you know, they weren't freaking out. It was like it hit their leg and just turned. The hand signals, if you're trying to get somebody's attention, you'd be making a noise first, right? So people have like either little metal shakers, or in this case, since we all had the PVC pipe, we were grabbing that and banging it against our tank. Because PVC against a metal tank makes a pretty loud tapping noise. In fact, we just heard it a little bit ago. I'm not going to try and find it, but I'm sure we'll hear it again. And there's even, I made a reel of this. This guy right next to me was using his GoPro selfie stick to hammer down the PVC pipe into the sand, and when he did that, everyone went, huh? And looked over at him because they thought they were trying to say, there's a shark behind you. All the guides, before we got in, reiterated, they were like, if you hear somebody tapping on their tank, just turn and look at it, no matter who you are, where you are, what's going on. If you hear somebody tapping on a tank, turn and look at it, because we're trying to let someone know that a shark is right behind them. So make sure it's not you. So basically the tapping sound was supposed to mean that's the shark, check behind you for a shark sound. People joke about this, but there is also a hand signal for that, like this is shark, just an open hand. I need to see myself to make sure I'm not messing that up. This is shark, just a fin on the head, like this. So if there was a shark, if I'm looking at you, we're facing each other in the water and there's a shark behind you, I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna point at the shark and I put my fin up. So I've seen a joking t-shirt where people will say, like it says diver hand signals, and it shows like a comic book, and it says, fucking big shark behind you. Like those are the different frames. But yeah, there's not like a specific hand signal other than that. We just have different ones for different types of sharks. Like this is hammerhead. Tiger shark has two different ones. You either go like this for tiger, or like this. You take fingers and drag them across your arm to be like tiger claw, you know? I don't know if there's one for, I'm sure somebody's come up with one for nurse. The specific animal ones are kind of amorphous, you know, like people just come up with their own. And like sea turtle is this thing. Some are kind of intuitive, you know, like if I look at my wife and I go like this, she knows there's a cephalopod. It's either a squid or an octopus nearby. This looks like a squid, right? But yeah, there's not like a break glass in case of emergency signal. A dive master I went with a few times had a cloth covered rubber band thing on his tank. Cloth covered rubber band, so like a hairband. He probably had one of those hair bands that has like a metal clasp on it, the ones that have the little brass clasp. That would make great noise, actually. Yeah, because then you could just snap the metal part, and that would do a pretty good job. One of the most effective ones I've heard of, well, if we're talking about effective, this is a good talking point too, actually. Let me bring this up real quick. Hold on. We'll go to scuba.com and find them. Don't ever buy anything from these guys, because then you're going to have to ship your stuff back to them to get it maintenanced. And that's not fun for anybody. You definitely want to buy stuff from like your local scuba shop so they can do your maintenance. So there's one called a quacker. Ooh, I got too many browser tabs open. Also, this website is just not great. Always had trouble with it. Okay. Stop it. Now, a quacker looks like this. And what this thing does, you can see it's attached in line with this regulator, or with this valve, right? So you've got your control that has your like inflate and deflate button on the BCD, as well as your manual inflate mouthpiece for you to go and blow up your BCD if you need to. That's what that gray bit is there. You guys even see that? Yeah, okay. And then this thing below it is the quacker. And what a quacker does, it's literally just like this thing right here. It's like a storm klaxon. You know how a klaxon is like the megaphone part of a siren, right? And it projects the noise. It forces air out of this little klaxon at a very high pressure, making a very loud scream kind of noise. This has two effects with sharks. It can attract them if they are far away. I have seen videos of quackers being very effective at attracting sharks from far away. So something you definitely want to be careful with and probably avoid using in murky water especially. If you are nearby sharks in a calm setting like this one, where we're with these hammerheads, it could have the opposite effect and scare them off. Sharks that are placid and, you know, behaving in a calm manner might bug out when they hear somebody use a quacker. In fact, maybe that's what happened when that one took off. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't hear anything. So I don't think that's what happened. Now, what I think is actually the most practical and effective noisemakers is actually this one of these. It's a shaker. And they're literally just little canisters with smaller pieces of metal in them. Imagine like, have you seen those little aluminum keychain pill cases? You know, carry your medication around with you? It's like that, but with just a couple of screws inside or something. So you can shake it around, it's airtight, you can shake it at depth, and it'll still make a very loud noise. And nothing else makes that particular noise, so you know a person did that. And it's usually pretty easy to draw a bead on where it came from. So, anyway, that's my TED Talk on underwater noisemakers. Thank you for attending. All right. We were way past this. We were well into the later half of this video. Oh, no, this is just the last section here. Okay. Let's see, do we have any really, really close passes by hammerheads here? There's a big one, came out of nowhere in the back. Tend to use the intonation signal of turning the water around me yellow as I swim in the opposite direction. You know, that's something, I actually saw a YouTube short about that today from a guy who's a dive guide, and he was dispelling a myth. So there's a common myth in scuba schools. Some people will, inevitably, when you get scuba certified, somebody will say, everyone pees in their wetsuit to stay warm. Don't believe it. You can, sure, and it's effective, and it'll wash out, you know, but you're still getting pee all over yourself and whatever dive skin or swimsuit you're wearing underneath. And it's just gross, man. And it does actually, over time, make the wetsuit smell nasty. I've talked to people that have worked on liveaboards, and they're like, yeah, no, the wetsuits are gross. We always have to, like, sterilize them after, and it's hard to get that ammonia smell out. So, don't pee in your wetsuits, folks. Ooh, this would be a good one. All right, maybe if we're looking up for this. And I just go back a little bit to when the first one passed. No, it's not gonna work that well. All right, maybe not with the shark behind me. That was cool. It kind of approached like head on like that. But is it gone by the time this one's here? No, that one's already on us. We'll go up until that one starts to get its feed. Start the shot right here. Let it approach. Let's change aspect ratios. Like pooping in your diaper to stay warm. It might work for a bit, but then you're sitting and poop. Yeah, exactly. Now, unless you're in a dry suit, it's not trapped in there with you. Like it will soak out through the neoprene, but just because it does that doesn't mean you should do it. You know, it's still disgusting. But yeah, there's a lot of divers that do it, an alarming amount, and I think it's pretty nasty. I am not alone in that. Okay, so right at the start, let's actually go back just a little bit more. Yeah. I'll put a keyframe here. De-warp, maybe? Nah. Alright, so commence. Or maybe I should just follow the shark like the whole way. Yeah, we'll start right here. Follow our shark. Keep it center frame. Alright, now let's see how much we gotta zoom in to get that. There we go. Now, continue. Oop. Okay. Still keep it centered. Zoom in a little bit. Give me another keyframe. Alright, now play. Look at that chomp. Keep it on him right there. That's too zoomed in. Right. Okay, now he's gonna adjust a little bit, or she, I guess. I don't know that I actually saw a single male one that day. I think they were all female. That's something I meant to go back and look at. Some of the folks on the boat with me swear they saw a male hammerhead on this dive, and I don't recall seeing a single one with claspers. Even many times we've rewatched this on the stream, I don't think I've seen a single clasper on one of these hammerheads. Alright, now that's when we're going to move to here and zoom out. Right. Keyframe. Keyframe. I'm gonna do rapid fire keyframes here. Ready? Gotta keep the thing in full view. That's a cool shot. Okay, now. Over there. Zoom in. Ah! No! New keyframe. Okay. Stay zoomed. And cut.
That'll be the end right there. All right, now let's see if that actually looks like anything good. Ready? Oh, come on, you ain't cool unless you pee your pants. I have not seen that movie since I was a kid, man. Honestly. I don't think I have seen... That was Big Daddy, right? Or no, not Big Daddy. That was, oh my gosh, what's it called? Adam Sandler movie where he's got to go back to middle school. It's a name. Help. Billy Madison? That's the one, right? I think so. And, yeah, I don't think I've seen Billy Madison since I was the age of the kids in Billy Madison. Honestly. You watched it again like a year ago? Oh, man. Yeah, so it's been so long that, like, I forget whose stream I was in, but somebody, maybe it was Plain Old Trey. Let's give a shout out to Plain Old Trey. Best hair in the business, guys. And one of the funniest dudes on Twitch, no lie. If you can watch an entire Plain Old Trey stream, or even like 30 minutes of it, and not at least let out a little, there's something wrong with you. For real. But, I think it was his stream, and either he said or somebody, I was watching somebody's stream, and they go, "Stop looking at me, Swan!" And I was like, wait, where do I know that from? Huh. Like, I really drew a blank, and I was like, my wife was like 10 feet behind me in the hallway, and I was like, what the hell is this from? She's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. She's like, usually you're the one that knows the movie quotes. She remembered it, I did not. All right, here we go. Does it come out smooth? Let's see. Boom, boom. Get your fish and go. Look at those powerful jaws. And the shark stays in frame the whole time. Yeah, love it. Okay, export. What, clip 4, I think? Ooh, my dog is mad. Alright, y'all, well, nobody spoke up about watching the GoPro stuff that we haven't seen yet on the stream. There's still some time for that if we want to switch gears. If not, we'll have something to watch next Water Wednesday. I'm having fun editing these. I don't know if you guys still find this entertaining or not. But I'm specifically in a good mood about it because this is more social media reels that I will not have to create. It will save me so much time after the fact. Jetson, stop barking. Let me just make sure that all of these exported. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. But yeah, you guys didn't speak up, so I'm assuming nobody's interested in watching that footage tonight. We've only got 20 minutes to do so. I'm happy to switch gears to that though. I think there's plenty that we could watch it both tonight and next Wednesday. I'm gonna be around Friday for a special birthday edition stream. Friday the 13th, this Friday, is my birthday. And I've planned on playing a scary shark game. That's gonna be a good time. I've heard really good reviews about it. All right, let's see here.
Dude, this is the first stream I've been able to watch, and this is so cool. I'm glad you like it. Like, first stream ever you've been able to watch? Or do I know you, and you've been meaning to make it to this stream? Don't dox yourself. Just asking. Ooh, that was pretty cool. He's doing like a high jump to feed that one. Nom, 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 nom. Let's look at that in real time. Nom, 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 nom. Sometimes they kind of hang on to the nose of the shark for dramatic effect. Y'all probably know I'm not like a huge fan of that. I'm not really a big on the showboating when handling sharks. Just give them the fishtail and let them be on their way. It's bad enough that we're feeding them. I don't want to get them used to getting touched as well. I think Crash ready to do some. Yeah, we're in the same. Crash is one of our besto friendos, as they say in here. We are on the same stream team. Sorry, I have a one-track mind. I can't talk and type. Bam. Y'all, if you are not following That Girl Crash, please do. Thank you for helping me think of that, McBeal. Please do. You'll be glad you did. Let me actually do a shout out. She's a great streamer. Plays marbles often. She's also a big fan of sharks. If you tell her I sent you, she will probably make some comment about this emote. She really likes that one because it's my face refaced onto the Ancient Aliens guy with the word sharks. My dog is going ape about something. It's amazing. I'm glad you like it. Alright, we might be done with the crazy. This is the last, like, minute of the dive, so I don't think we're going to have a sudden pass. Whoa, look at the difference in size here, though. This one is fairly close. It's like within 10-12 feet of that diver right next to me. This one is bigger than this one. The one in the background, that silhouette, is larger than this one by far. And it's a good, like, at least another 15, 16, maybe 20 feet away. That's a big hammerhead. These are great hammerheads, by the way, if you were curious. Sphyrna mokarin is the scientific name that you will never ever use. Oh, look, there's our bull shark friend that was hiding the whole time. I see you. I keep forgetting what part of this dive it actually initially showed up. It just, early on in the dive, it sneaks up behind this guy, and I'm like, I poke him with my stick, and he's like, oh, what? And I'm like, bull shark right there, and then he sees it, and then it turns and veers away, and then we don't see it again until, like, just now, at the end of the dive. Ah, this is when they let Paul feed at the end, okay. McBeal, I don't know if you watch Shark Week at all, if you would know who a guy named Paul DeGelder is, but that's him right here. He's a Shark Week personality. It's a guy that survived a shark attack in Australia and became an advocate for protecting them. Might be the only person I know of that likes shark diving more than me.
He's kind of showboating right now, like hanging onto their head and stuff. Yeah, so it's a crazy story. You should look it up. So like he was swimming in Sydney Harbor when he was in the Navy in Australia, and he got. They say in the stories on Shark Week it was a bull shark, but he's like, I really think it was a great white. You know, because he said he remembered a pointy nose. But anyway, you know, naturally it's trauma and memories are hazy. And that's the end of the video. But yeah, he was, I guess, either just in mid-stroke or he was doing a backstroke and like his something. And either way, his arm was right next to his calf, and the shark in question clamped onto both his arm and leg at the same time. So he lost an arm and a leg on one side. And where is he? He's near the beginning of this dive. He was standing behind us at the beginning of the dive as one of the safety divers. There he is, back there. You can see the right leg is the prosthetic, and there's a hook on that hand too. One of the most interesting guys I've ever met, and unsurprisingly, very, very successful motivational speaker. I was just looking at pictures he posted today from a talk he gave. They really, really did it up with a big stage and all that. He's written books about it and done all kinds of like corporate motivational speech gigs. All right, so we got 10 minutes. Let's see how we're doing on this puzzle. This is what we're going for, is my split shot of the koi pond at the Dallas Arboretum. Wow. Dude. Sparky, I don't know if I'm impressed or if I'm concerned. Like, like, do you have a problem? This is amazing. Yeah, no, McBeal, it doesn't slow him down at all. Like, the guy snowboards. I've seen videos of it. He's super active. Doesn't slow him down at all. This is so impressive. I raised the number of pieces by 100 from last night, and y'all still might actually finish the. You know what? If I help, I bet we'll finish this. Let's just do that. How about that, huh? Maybe Friday, if you guys sweet talk me into it, I'll start showing the Hammerhead GoPro footage I have. I'll play at least one. I'll play the first one before we call it a night. Alright, there's Bimini. And here we go. Okay, so the very first video clip is going to be this one. And it's upside down, so we gotta do this. It's only 30 seconds, this is a quick one. Usually the first one's not the best. How about I pick you guys a random one? Let's use this one to rotate it though. Video effects, geometry, transform, boom. There we go, now we'll be all set for next time. Go. Alright, so I'm actually climbing down the anchor line right now. This is me turning the camera on as I'm descending from the boat. Here's the anchor embedded. Okay, this is cool, because you can see the way everybody's kind of sprawled out in our little crescent shape. I forgot I filmed that. I wish I'd have just turned it on and jumped in. That would probably have been better. I sometimes, when I do this again, we're gonna do this again in November, and that time I'll have my GoPro mounted to my head.
and I'll have the 360 in my hand. I think that's going to be a way better way to do things. And we got it! Sweet. Well done. I did a whopping 3 pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and say I carry the team. And 98% of the entire puzzle was Noisy Dragoon. Well played. Thank you for playing. Good night. Not actually ending the stream, but I will start trying to find us a raid target. Yeah, nice carry, yeah. Puzzle done indeed. Sparky, you never cease to amaze with your diligence and puzzle skills. Did I howl at the moon tonight? Maybe, says my wife. Uh-oh. Well, so I've probably got a tipsy wife to go say hello to. That's gonna be fun. And I'm being sincere, I'm not being sarcastic at all. But I'll tell you what, I will find you guys. I just closed it, I didn't mean to. I'm gonna pull up a couple more of those clips while we find us a raid target. There it is, GoPro. I always forget the path. Boom, okay. Now the second one after that one you just watched would be this. Make sure she drinks some. Oh, should be fine. Oh, you're heading home now. Okay. I thought like you were already here and just warning me. Not at all tipsy? Did I howl at the moon? Oh, maybe you... Did you literally howl at the moon, Mita? Because that's even funnier and way less surprising. Did you literally howl at the moon? I bet she did. She went to a drum circle, which is something I don't know if she's ever done. I have a couple of times, but not recently. Let's see these stills I took. I haven't looked at any of these. Is any of this worthwhile? Or did I just rapid fire a bunch of weird stills? Yep, looks like the latter. Oh, that's a pretty good one with that hammer there. Maybe I can Photoshop out those PVC pipes. You literally howled at the moon. I love that. That sounds more like my wife. I was like, she doesn't get drunk. Alright, so who can we go share this party with? Oh, I know exactly what we're doing. Okay, guys, without further ado, as soon as this clip is over, we are going to go raid Casey Snowart. Because she's never on at this time, and she is right now. Dang it. Oh, I'm using exclamation point, that's why. I was befuddled. I'm doing it wrong. Thank y'all so much for coming by. There's 2 raid calls there. One if you're not subbed, one if you are. Grab those emotes. And as soon as this is over, let's swim on over into Casey's channel. She is currently mid-partner push, guys. So she needs all the help she can get. This is going to help push her over the requirements just a little bit. I think she was just able to submit the application, so now she's on the review process. So, without further ado, let's roll out and help her boost those numbers. All right, good night, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow for Thrash Thursday.
And we'll do Neil's age. So Neil, if I test you when you're really young, and you have a high nice level of that protein. Awesome. Neil, you look great.